Hello, my love. So if you were here and watching this video, it means that more than likely we have met and connected and or you have come across my work and you feel a resonance and you're wanting to drop in a little deeper. So what we're going to be covering today in this video is a little bit about me, just so that you can drop in, feel my frequency, feel my story, my journey, and then going into the details of SEM, which is my signature 12-week program that I cover with clients, the Sensual Embodiment method. I am going to walk you through my journey, where you're at, who I like to work with, how it magnetizes, and what begins to happen in the program, from things that we cover to the costs to all the details. I'm going to try and make it short, sharp, and sweet. So work with me, be with me. And without further ado, I have a slideshow for us, which I want us to drop into so that we can cover all of the magic together. I'm going to put myself here and I might shift my little face around. Right. So welcome to the Sensual Embodiment Method. This is my transformational 12-week program that I do one-on-one with clients. It is exclusive, it is incredible, and it is designed for both men and women to become really embodied in their sensual energy. So before we drop into the program, I want to go over a little bit about me so that you know who I am, who you're dealing with. So I guess as we meet in ego form, on paper, what qualifies me to do what I do? I have a post-grad degree in psychology. I studied in South Africa quite extensively, and I specialized in energy psychology. And so after I finished my post-grad, graduated top of my degree, I then started to really research into energy healing and how quantum energetics can heal more than just the psyche, but the body and physical circumstances. I also qualified as a holistic life coach, looking at how we can holistically heal as individuals. It's not just about fixing one problem, but mind, body connection. And of course, that led me to qualifying as a mind body practitioner, where I really started to understand the power of the subconscious mind, the conscious mind, and how the body is the mirror image of this modality and healing and ability to heal and transform and witness miracles. So my life and lineage, as you've probably noticed, and if you've met with me, work a lot with energetics, and I manifest incredibly fast, and my clients and humans in my field experience the miraculous as the new normal. How did this come about? Well, my family lineage, as far back as on my mom's side, we can tell we're all very powerful mediums, psychics, and then spiritual leaders. My parents were pastors. They really tried to change the bloodline of the sort of more occultic energy and embody Christ consciousness. And it got a little religious for me, which I didn't like. And so I basically said, fuck it to religion and all of the societal constructs around receiving God, receiving source, and understanding the power I had, and began to drop into my own journey of spirit, sex, mind, science, maths, magic, and bring it into a method that really helps authentically embody the blueprint and soul of the individual, myself first and foremost, and then individually with each and every client who moves with me through this program. I did not get to where I am today easy breezy. A lot of people see me and they're like, oh, she's so orgasmic, or she's so cute, or so sweet, or so, and I am. But it came with a huge background. The biggest thing for me, of course, is that the body speaks the mind. Growing up, I had over 10 different surgeries. I've had several major organ failures and multiple health issues growing up. So a lot of what I do now is because I really empathize with the bottom of what we can experience in this human experience. And my desire is that wherever you are in your journey, whether you're super sick, super blocked mentally, blocked in your sex energy, blocked in your marriage, blocked in your finances, blocked in what the fuck is going on in this human experience, why am I here, that we can start to authentically move through those blocks, meet them, heal them, alchemize them, and bring you to a place of truly being embodied. And for me, that's where I am now in my character, mind, body, spirit, embodied. I'm a self-healer. I came off every single chronic medication. I was on over 10 at a point. They told me I was infertile, I had pre-diabetes, I had thyroid disorders, kidney failure, splenic failure, stomach bleeding. The list was extensive, extensive, and for a long time with my health. And every single cell in my body healed. Every single cell, I'm off everything. I am the healthiest, strongest, most orgasmic, happy, joyful, purposeful woman I know. And it all happened through the method that I'm going to walk you through today and what I teach and preach and do. And yeah, just a little bit on my professional journey too, so that you're with me. It's been over 10 years now of studying extensively in psychology and healing modalities. I dropped in as a psychology student all in my mind, and I thought I could figure it out in my head. If I understood why things happened the way they did, I could change things and it could all be mentally done in control. And life basically smashed me into a million pieces and obliterated my mind and my concepts of understanding. And I started to then really embody into learning surrender, the flow of life, higher consciousness, soul, dharma. And it's led me now to create what I do today. So, yeah, just a little bit about where I was. This was me in 2017. I was pretty blocked at that point in mental conditioning, what society wanted, and what I thought was right. I was in a serious long-term relationship. I was studying at a top university and doing psychology. I was, doing my best with my parents. I had a lot of conditioning with friends around partying and being cool. And I was blocked. I was on antidepressants, antipsychotics. I was very overweight. Everything in me was doing what I should, and it quite honestly fucking sucked. But I didn't really know how to expand from there. And I find a lot of us are here where we're doing the right thing. Everything seems like it should be right, but there's blocks. We're feeling frustration, numbness. We're not feeling in our purpose. We don't understand what's wrong with us or why we're here or what we can do, but it's a blocked place. So that was me literally 5 years ago. This was the dark night of soul, May 16th, 2020. I had a suicide attempt. Between the end of 2017 and the middle of 2020, so it was really about a 2-year time period, I hit rock bottom. I moved to the UK thinking that I was going to have this great new life and a new job in London, and everything was great and dandy. And within 18 months of me leaving from here, 2017, my best friend committed suicide. My mother got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and died 3 months later. Both my dogs died simultaneously after my mom. My sister then committed suicide. The client I was living with in the UK also died. I got hit with corona like all of us, and I lost my next job opportunity that I was moving to France for. I then lost all of my money and my savings in investments and things that fell through during corona time. And I ended up living in South Africa with no way of leaving, no access to work, and in a mindset that I was completely stuck and life hated me and I hated myself. I was put into a psychiatric ward at a point. I was on heavy, heavy, heavy antipsychotics, antidepressants, and my body started to go into failure. I got really sick. I was fluctuating with weight. And on May 16th, I had a suicide attempt. The doctor said it was impossible that I survived. I flatlined, left my body. And when I came back, I wish I could say I was like, wow, a second chance. But I literally was like, wow, I failed at suicide too. It was that point, and I couldn't believe it because I had everything. I'd had everything. I traveled the world. I was young. I was smart. I had opportunities. And then everything got taken away, my family, my home, my money, my sense of self. And I couldn't figure it out. And I didn't want to be here anymore. And then we move into me a few months ago, living here in Bali, of course, fully embodied in my soul's purpose. And that was 2022. That picture was taken. We're now at the beginning of 2023. So from 2020 to 2023, there was a radical transformation. And that transformation basically took place, and I consolidated all of it into what I'm going to teach you today on my method of how to actually go from being stuck, blocked, and conditioned, dark night of soul, where your entire life feels like it's falling apart and there is no hope and you can't figure it out. And it either feels like you're going to go off the rails, kill yourself, or never survive it, to being really embodied in your purpose, genuinely enjoy, genuinely loving life, and making a big impact doing it. So, a little bit on how we get blocked and how to unblock. Blocks, they come from conditioning, fourth dimension, energetics. We get conditioned into what we think we should and shouldn't do, whether it's how much money we should make, the kind of sex we should have, the kind of people we should love, the places we should live. We start to get blocked by family expectations. We get anxiety and shame and guilt and even disgust around enjoying our body and physical pleasure. We confuse the idea of sex and intimacy. We don't want to meet our bodies in the fullness of emotion. We want to perform. We want to be really good and sexy, or we don't want to be seen in our emotions. We separate our sex and our spirit and our emotional flow in the body. And of course, we get completely stuck in our limiting beliefs. And we only see through those lenses. It's something we're going to cover a little later, but what you don't know, you don't know. Sometimes we just have these goggles on and we think we know everything because we do know everything that we know. But there's a lot that we don't know. And what we do know is often limiting us from actually perceiving and believing and receiving what we truly desire. And so the way I say and see we move from our blocks into our opening and our embodiment is what I call the unbecoming. This is something I want to drop in before we do anything else. You do not have to become anything. We simply need to unbecome everything that is not authentically and really you, so that you can embody your true frequency and become the energetic match and container for what you desire. That is basically the journey of embodying your central energy. It is the unbecoming of everything that is blocking you so that you can embody and be who you truly are and witness the miraculous shining through your life, your journey, your purpose in your authenticity. That's what we're here for. And take a breath on that. I know I move fast, but I want to anchor that for you. It's so vital and it's so key. Embodiment and sensual embodiment isn't always a juicy, sexy, multi-orgasmic experience, although that's the byproduct. It is the greatest awakening of a lifetime, and it happens through your vessel. And that's what we're here for. Okay, unbecoming, ways that we do this. Healing and realigning and opening your energy field, your energy body, and beginning to release societal conditioning. Connecting with your body for the first time with childlike curiosity, not your preconditioned judgment. We are shifting back into our innocence so that we can drop into our actual fire, passion, and purpose. And then opening to new ways of seeing and believing and connecting with your physical body, with spirit, with source, with life. We actually start to learn new ways to pattern the mind so that you can perceive a whole new world for you. So yeah, when people ask me what is embodiment, because it's such a hot sentence and topic and phrase and in the healing world and in the coaching and obviously what I do, embodiment for me is the weaving of sex and spirit into manifest form. What is manifest form? Your body. We are basically the sum of the woven mix of our subconscious mind, the conscious mind, what we're perceiving and understanding and receiving, and your life force energy, aka your sensual energy, which dwells and moves within you. And for me, it's literally when we realize that we are the subject, witnessing the object and co-creating with it. We're not our bodies, we're not our minds. We're soul and energy that is woven into a body and a vessel that is ready to ripple effect out what is stored within it. And the memory of what's stored within it holds in the fascia, in the actual physical body, and in the subconscious mind. So embodiment is when we start to weave together your spirit, your life force energy into the body, and we decondition the body and the mind from anything that actually blocks you from being who you truly are in your human experience. Okay, so a little bit about what I discovered in my healing journey. The first thing, and this is what I believe makes SEM more unique out of all of the different programs, is the energetics that we do. I work with energy healing and quantum energetic work, and it is profound and powerful. And for me, I learned this firsthand, that energy healing was the most powerful way to deepen and heal and make quantum shifts. And that's something that is invaluable. It's invaluable. 85% of this world is based on energetics that we do not see. When we're tapping into that field and we're moving in it, it creates massive ripple effects on a physical and quantum level. I also found that being taught and mentored in tantric practices was the most powerful way to embody and awaken my sexual power. And books just did not cut it. It was learning and practicing embodiment and tantric practices. And that's something that I do to this day and I do with my clients. It's the physical one-on-one connection where you are learning and practicing and being guided through your body in ways to alchemize and heal for you. Of course, a lot of us who are in our masculine energy, coming into a feminine container with a feminine healer and coach creates a beautiful level of safety. And this is what I learned for myself and what I witness all the time is there's a safety for your heart to melt and expand. And because of that safety, for me and what I see with every single one of my clients is suddenly the masculine becomes more aligned, more powerful, and begins to make more impact, more purpose because there's a safety to melt. So you don't just become an emotional puddle, you feel safety to feel, and that brings you back into your alignment, your vision, and your purpose. Of course, money is energy. Every time I've invested and every time someone is invested in me, the same thing happens. It's like a tenfold abundance that starts to shift. Whether it's in money, yes, often 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10. But more than that, in joy, in clarity, in physical healing, in deepening intimacy, everything begins to tenfold in life. And then, of course, self-motivation, self-understanding, ability to manifest, essential connection to others, emotional regulation, depth and inner intimacy with self, with God, with partners, for me did a complete 180 when I started to practice and create my sensual embodiment method. It's something I created by myself through my own journey. And when I started to practice it as a method and a modality in my life, every single aspect of my life did a 180 and excelled. And it's something I'm so passionate about because I witness it in myself every day to this day. And I witness it with my clients and the people who are in my field every day to this day. And it's okay. Right. So before we drop into the method itself, I also want to get clear on why I created the sensual embodiment method. And really, the reason I created it was to help masculine-minded entrepreneurs multiply their power, their impact, their purpose, and their pleasure by teaching them how to drop into their feminine energy, surrender to life's flow, and get the depth that they desire from life. I love that quote, and I always want to read it because it's such an anchor for me. It is really time for our leaders and awakened souls of this planet to fully embody in their love and into their full power. And when I say masculine minded, it's not just for men. And I want to get a little bit more specific on who tends to attract, who I tend to work with, and who my soulmate frequency is. If you're here and we've spoken and we're connected and we feel like we're going to work together, I will have said this already, we will be soulmates. It's a frequency we attract. It's a frequency I hold and you hold. And this frequency is super powerful. And what I've noticed is, as always with energy and patterns, there tends to be a reflection that mirrors that on the kinds of people that come into my field. And I want to voice it. I want to get specific. And if this resonates with you, to reach out. And if you're feeling like, but it's still resonating at the end of this, reach out. Let's drop in. But the soulmates who tend to come in, are both men and women. Your masculine energy does not mean you're a man. We all have both masculine and feminine energetics. And masculine is linear, mind, power, action, vision. And it's usually people who are really in that energy and desiring to drop in. This for me has showed up many times as very powerful women, healers and coaches who are embodied in their business and are really ready to expand into their soul work. So they're ready to feel depth, love, excitement, and joy in creating new worlds through their business. They're wanting to feel and be as impactful, but from an embodied feminine way. And I have worked with the most incredible goddesses, and I feel you in my field, the ones who are already doing healing, who are already in the coaching industry, the ones who are powerful in their business, but are seeking a depth, a love, and an excitement in themselves with God in ways they've never experienced, and then bringing that into their business. I also have worked and met with many powerful husbands and businessmen who are feeling stuck in their marriages and are wanting to deepen their inner self-love and their vision for the future to become what I call that man. Many, many men come into my field who are incredible husbands, incredible in their business, but they feel blocked. Their marriage is feeling stagnant. They feel like they've been pushed into their life, or was this ever even the life I wanted, or was this what I was just raised to be, like get married young, do this job, make this money, have this career, and then what? And they're longing to become that man that has deep intimacy, whose wife adores them, who loves their work, who feels good in their vision, who trusts their inner path. And that's what we drop in and begin to co-create together. I also work with fathers. I know sensual energy and embodiment and understanding the feminine is very juicy, but oftentimes there are dads who have teenage daughters or girls who are going into their teens who they are becoming very feminine and embodied in their sensual energy. And the dad, the father, comes in and it's like, it's a nightmare. It's a disaster. I don't know what to do. She's hormonal. She's emotional. She's not my baby girl. What am I supposed to do with my life? And what they're seeking when they come to me is to understand the feminine and sensual energy, to actually show up as that dad, to be the dad for their baby girl in a way that is also divine masculine. And so we begin to work through healing their blockages and deepening into anchoring and being the anchor for their family and everything that's blocking them from being able to show up in that way for their daughter, for their wife, and for themselves, for their inner feminine. And then, of course, I work with a lot of powerful young male entrepreneurs, funnily enough, often German. So if you're watching this and you're German, it's a telltale, we're soulmates. Who are really big in business, like powerful, 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 young, incredible men, and struggling to feel enough love for their lives or see a way of finding pleasure in life. There's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of blocks, there's a lot of meaninglessness or lack of self-worth or trying to figure it out. And we deep dive into that and we shift those paradigms and we allow both the power and the business and the success with the enjoyment, the pleasure, the love, the creativity. It gets to be the full spectrum, and we meet all of the blocks that have been created along the way to shift that. So yeah, I tend to attract very powerful souls. That's part of my field, and it's an honor. So if you're watching this, it's an honor. I adore you. I love you. I see you. I attract people who know their impact, know their power, who are seeking, though, depth and clarity of vision in themselves, and the ones who are really longing to love life, ones who are open and ready to also understand quantum realms and manifestation and higher order thinking, not just third dimensional energetics and matrix energetics, but fifth, sixth dimensional codes of consciousness, where they can begin to, in real time, manifest in a very fast level the flow of life, the dreams for their lives, for their loved ones, and for this planet. We work on much higher frequencies together, and that's the magic. It's also just an NB to say that a lot of my clients who come to me have been or are going through or just coming through a dark night of soul, just like I was when I created SEM. They are seeking to rediscover their inner light and truth and confidence and embody into their full impact in their love life, in their business, in their personal relationship with themselves and with God, discovering, is there a God? How does it work? Can I connect? Is there hope? So if you're resonating, this is amazing, because these are the souls that come into my field, and it's so, so powerful. Your life is going to change forever. And also just a little note from a cheeky Emma in London. Before entering into SEM and the portal, please know with all my love and my heart, as human beings, what we don't know, we don't know. And this is the unbecoming and rewriting and a rediscovery of self. And it's by shifting a lot of what you've forgotten and remembering your inner truth through new paradigms of knowledge. It's also knowing that what you're perceiving now in this present moment in your life situation and circumstance is your present state of consciousness. And what we're going to do together is completely rewrite and shift your present state of consciousness and elevate it to higher states of being and allow you to learn new tools that you don't know yet to embody and anchor these states of being into your present life. That's what we're going to do. And it's anchoring in the fact that your desires are memories of the future. Your soul doesn't live in space time, it lives in time space. There's a difference. Space time is that there's infinite space all around us and we're living in limited time. That's the current matrix perception. Time space is that there's infinite space and there's infinite time and we're living in a limited amount of embodied space. And that's actually the new paradigm reality that we're anchoring in. It's shifting all of your ideas of time, power, impact, and realigning them so that your desires become inevitable. Inevitable, they manifest. And then it's time for life to move for you in every aspect, past, present, and future, and then through you into this world. And it does happen. It does happen. And just before I drop into our details, this was one of my SEM clients who first came into my field, Felix, and he was doubting actually when we started together his investment and what we were doing, and he was uncertain about the situation he was in a very dark night of soul, lost place, and he trusted his nudge, and literally within weeks the puzzle pieces completely fell into place. And yeah, for him, it was the best investment ever, which always touches my heart. And I will show you a video testimonial of him at the end of how everything literally unfolded for him and through him. He embodied a new soul purpose. He went into business. He's shifted everything on tremendously magnificent amounts in his journey. And this is what happens. We start where it's like, I doubt, I don't know, what am I doing? And you end up being like, everything shifted simultaneously. My entire life is unfolding for me. Everything is happening. I'm embodied. I'm in love. And that's what we want to get you to. Okay, so scooch myself down here. Let's look at the outline and the pillars of SEM. With every program and method, for me, it has a masculine structure because as you come in, you're going to be in your feminine, and I want to hold you and support you in the best way I can. So I formulated 3 major pillars to put SEM into. The first pillar is opening up your energy field. So in order to move forward, you need to be energetically open in your energy body, which isn't your physical body, but it's the energetics that surround it. So we go into cord cutting, energy healing, quantum space work, and I come in as a healer and literally drop you, guide you, and move you through meditation, lying still energy healing practices, guided practices, and I teach you energetic work that you can do for yourself to begin to open your field on a daily basis. Pillar number 2 is connecting your mind to your body. As I said, what we don't know, we don't know. And the ways we are thinking and feeling and experiencing are often taught. And so I basically coach and help you bring in new concepts into your mind to reprogram your RAS, your reticular activating system, to neurologically shift your current perceptive state to begin to perceive a new state of being in your reality, to receive what you are desiring. And this, of course, results in life being very orgasmic, very intuitive. Your intuitive field opens and you feel very embodied in your power because you've got a whole new perspective that's been hardwired into your brain to perceive through. And then pillar number 3 is, of course, embodiment and actual routines and practices. So you're energetically open, your mind is transforming, your fields are congruent, and now we drop in and we weave in actual physical embodiments. So every week you will get self-work where there is different forms of somatic healing practices for your body. We move through pleasure, we move through rage and anger, we move through anxiety, we move through sleep blocks, we move through all sorts of things on a physical level with practices and routines and ways to easily habit pair and implement them into your daily life, even if you work a full-time job, you have a family, ways that are easy and simple to pair and rewire and embody your new mindset and your new energy into your life and into your vessel. So the method itself, this was something that came to me a little while ago, and I absolutely anchor it to be true. And it's the depth that you open and penetrate yourself is equal to the depth life will be able to open and penetrate you. And that's equal to the depth you're going to be able to penetrate and open the world. So if you're wanting big impact, incredible healing, incredible power in your life, whether it's business, family, relationships, alignment, souls, manifestation, to get that result where you can go out and penetrate and manifest that ability, you need to be able to receive and fully embody life. And in order to do that, you need to be open to receiving and being penetrated by yourself first. Life will never enter a body to the fullest it can if that body is saying no. I always say, let life be your lover. Imagine if life or God or source was the masculine wanting to come in and you as the feminine receiving, like, I don't want you. I don't feel safe. It's not gonna penetrate you. It's gonna wait for you to be like, I am so open to receiving in my body. Enter me. And that's when life will penetrate you. So we've got to get ourselves into a space where we are open to receiving from self first, and then we receive from source, and then we receive through life and for life in our power. So, yeah, basically, we start here. We energetically open and release stagnant energy. We open our minds and we begin to expand belief systems. We begin to embody our new energy in forms of new ways of living and routine and practice. We then become the energetic container for our desires and embody our inner power. And then you start to manifest your desires and step into your full purpose and upward spiral your energy. So the depth of self-connection to quantum life's purpose, that is the method behind it. And we start here and we go in this cycle and we begin to upward spiral in every aspect of your life. So expected results. The first is you will quantum the depth of intimacy with your body, getting into all of you. Give me 1 second. I want to charge my laptop really fast. Sorry, guys. There we are. The first expected result, and it's an absolute hands down, is you're going to quantum the depth and intimacy with your body. You're going to meet him and her at a whole new level of passion, power, pleasure. It's incredible. 2, you're going to elevate stagnant emotions, shame, fear, guilt, into confidence, self-love, and faith. And even if we feel very confident and in love with ourselves and faith-filled, there are parts, even in my own journey now, where I'm like, oh, that's still there. And we get to meet them, alchemize them, and transmute them. And then, of course, you're going to start to tangibly manifest your desires. You're going to reclaim the fullness of your authentic power, not what you're conditioned to be in your power. And you're going to drop that into your faith, your purpose, and your pleasure in this life. So, SEM, I designed one program, but I divided into two. One is for men, one is for women, mainly because in some of the practices, it's different. So male practices for embodiments, because we just have different physiological bodies, are different to the female practices. So this is just going into the first 6 weeks of what I cover with my men. We always start by understanding your seasons of life and connecting into your body. We shift into releasing rage and ways to really validate your pain and your anger and move through it as an alchemizer. We start to connect you with your inner feminine and masculine, and we learn tantric practices like sublimation and orgasm control and understanding how your body's sex energy works on a physical level. We start to go into circulating your sex energy through breathwork techniques, practices, and of course, new learned understanding of what's already within you. Many times as we're going into that journey, men come through and they're like, I'm feeling a lot of emotions. How do I protect my field? I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to. So we drop into this, how to open yourself energetically and also how to align into your field with actual practices that you can do at home for your energy fields, like actual energy healing techniques. And then we go into connecting into your heart, dropping into the heart space, learning how to connect your cock and your heart. A lot of men love a lot and love to fuck, but the connection between deep intimacy and love and making love is disconnected. So we start to reconnect that energy line, and there's suddenly this depth of heart and love rooted in your intimacy, your passion, and your fire too, for yourself, for your partner, or for who you're calling into your field. For my women, the first 6 weeks, my goddesses, it's a little different. We always drop in with seasons and season mapping. But then we start to drop into the sacred sluts. A lot of women have resistance to this. And so that's something that I'm like, let's play with it. Let's play with the shadows. Let's play with our blocks, or let's have fun with it if you're not blocked there. We learn tantric practices like transfiguration, becoming witnessed by your inner man, and learning how to date yourself. We go into embodiment practices like breast massage, opening your heart space, connecting your inner feminine masculine. We learn about connecting to your bleed, moon cycles, sacred rituals with your blood, and understanding what's taking place on a physiological level in your body, how you can connect that to optimizing in your business, your workflow, and your work productivity as a woman who has hormonal cycles, and also ways to heal your womb if she is storing trauma, if she's not feeling, if you aren't having a bleed. We drop deep into the womb space. And then also, as we go into 5 and 6, connecting and cleaning and clearing your field and your love languages. Moving further along, it's a 12-week program. So the second half for the men, we go into deepening. So we start with cord cutting, energetic soul connections that are no longer aligned. We start clearing out your field on a level of true consciousness and shifting energies, learning how to love your soft cock, inner child forgiveness, and then of course for my men, things that they absolutely love, so we deep dive into, is how to penetrate the feminine, understanding women on a very deep embodied level. And I'm talking about physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of it, from learning yoni massage to learning body techniques to learning how to boost your testosterone. It's all there for my men, and every single time I cover it with one of my male clients, it's mind-blowing and really changing stuff. And then for my woman, as we go into the second half, we also go through the cord cutting, learning how to deepen into the body, releasing any shame that's stored in her and beginning to really come through in your wild woman, learning your archetypes, the princess, the priestess, the queen, the wild woman. We start to open up how to express all parts of self. We drop into tantric practices with yoni eggs, circulating your sexual energy, yoni massage, and we really deepen into the physical body practices of healing and becoming essentially embodied. So a couple details about SEM, what's included, what's here. So it's 12 weeks one-on-one, and we basically will go here. We have 12 one-on-one sessions, so one session a week. They're usually 60 to 90 minutes, done on Zoom or in person. It depends where you are. The whole program is designed to be online because many of my clients are international, but they can be done in person, of course, too, or a mixture of both. We have at least 6 energy healing sessions during that time in our calls. We go with the flow too, because it's one-on-one, it's custom for you. What you're needing, what you're desiring, we can anchor in and co-create for you. And then, of course, you have access to me on Telegram every week. We stay deeply connected. And if we're online, all of our recordings, all of our sessions are recorded. And you will be getting access to my full 12-week curriculum, which has guided meditations, PDFs, all the embodiment practices, and playlists. There's so much in the curriculum that's just ridiculously amazing and laid out week by week for you to have a library of embodiment practices and to move through at a gentle but really powerful momentum to begin to transform your energy into really anchoring in a method for you in embodying your central energy. So yeah, as we're starting to move towards the end, I want to cover some real life wins of what happens with SEM. As much as I love talking about all of the possible outcomes, this is stuff that actually has anchored in for my clients who have started, done, or completed SEM with me, or who are still moving through longer containers with me. My one male client made a $6 million business deal within the first 6 weeks of us working together. And it was the biggest deal he'd ever made in his 25 years of sales. And he just said it absolutely blew his mind. But when he anchored into his power, he received more from life and penetrated the world more. It was like, it's literally what you talk about, Emma. And I was like, I know, but profound. I had another woman client whose entire business took off. to the point where she literally had to start hiring new staff members. And because her business that she was previously working in was so expansive, she was able to open space and start her soul business and really shift into doing what she was desiring, which was healing and embodying and creating her Dharma, not Sharma, Dharma. And it was just such a powerful thing to witness, such a powerful woman who was in business, able to expand it to a point where it could be taken care of so that she could really start to align into her soul and what she was desiring in a whole new way and expand there too. I had another male client who healed a 25-year marriage that was about to end in divorce. He came to me because their marriage was on the rocks and he was basically moving towards figuring out how to do the transition with their children. And by the time we finished, him and his wife's relationship had completely transformed and healed, both of them in their own journeys and within himself. And now they're consciously creating a new way forward with their family, their intimacy, and their love. It's like they're falling in love all over again. And this was after 10, 15 years of no connection at all, no sex, no nothing. And now it's completely rekindled. And he just said, like, his business also took off. But he's like, the thing that's the most powerful for me is that I got my family back, you know? And this is the power of what happens when you embody your sensual energy. A massive one that happens for every single client, myself included, is a deepening connection to God and feeling trust in and for life again. Every single person who comes into my field is there where they're struggling, and by the end, it's inevitable. They are deeply embodied in faith. They are manifesting their desires and they are conscious co-creators with life. They have opened up their field to the spiritual realms in ways they never thought possible. And it gets bigger and better every single time, every single day. So that for me is like, and I've had clients who've come in who have been completely blocked in their mindset and very conditioned with societal shame, and they didn't feel like they could communicate with their partners, with their family members, or even with themselves about what they wanted or about what they were feeling in their sex life and their sensuality and their even their purpose and what they wanted to do. And through SEM, we're able to not only learn how to consciously communicate, but anchor in a lover that truly aligned for them, heal family dynamics around sexual shame, and even open up men's groups with other men to help them to learn how to become more embodied and more in their power, in their emotions and their sensual energy. So the transition was like, couldn't even speak to their own family to now holding men's circles and healing groups of men, plus anchoring in a beautiful new lover and healing their relationship with their family. It's just massive and profound. And these are just a few of the many incredible actual results and wins and celebrations that we experience in this container. This was one of my clients, and her biggest thing was she could incorporate her business journey and growth with her feminine embodiment process. And she understood her feminine cycles, her hormones, her spiritual happenings, her sexual relationship with her lover. And it's been so surreal. And so, yeah, it's about, rather than being super businessy as she was, like very in her masculine in her mind, to actually consciously playing with the flow of life and flirting with it. And she did result in literally tripling her impact and income for the year, which was also just miraculous to witness and see. So yeah, let's drop into the pricing. For SEM, there is a discount if you're watching this. It's normally 4.5, but here you can get it in full for 3.5, or if you're wanting a payment plan, there is an option for 1.5 over 3 months. If this is feeling like, send me a message, email me, and we can always talk and discuss. This is the current set for where we are doing SEM. And I deliberately made it a place that's an edge and expansive because it's there that we really meet our limits and choose to invest and trust in life. And every single time it has been so huge for my clients, for their journey, for their clients, for their work, for their purpose. And it creates this beautiful space to expand into together. And of course, everything we covered is included and more. So, yes, my loves, what I would love to invite you to do, if this resonated with you, if you're feeling curious, if you're feeling a full body fuck yes, if you're wanting to just connect in with me and discuss things more one-on-one, if there's something that's resonating or something you would like to know more about, I want to invite you to drop into a discovery call with me. It's free. They're usually 45 minutes, and we begin to map out an exact personal custom plan for you with SEM, for us, for where we are, and we can start to co-create that magic together. Right here is my Calendly. This is where you can schedule a call with me, calendly.com/mswaincoaching. I will also put a link. This video is going to be up on YouTube. So I'll put a link in the description where you can click and book in a call. Other places that, of course, you can contact me is Instagram, which is mswain_coaching. And from there, we can drop in, book a call, and connect to see if this is for you. Of course, SEM, because it's one-on-one, there are limited spaces for this container. And for me, it's vital we are soulmates, that we really align and connect. And I'm always so excited and just thrilled and blah, 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 to see who comes into my field and where the magic happens. So I'm super excited if you're at this point and you're feeling that, like, or to hear from you, to connect with you. And I wanted to end with this video for you. So that was a little snippet of a testimonial I did with a previous SEM male client. And it's one I want to leave us with today as we wrap up here, that through the process of him learning how to embody his sexual energy and sensual energy, it was rippling out. He's trusting, he's embodied, he's present, he has a different energy. He doesn't feel shame or judge. He's become himself. He's expanded in his soul purpose. He's receiving opportunities he could never have even dreamed about a few months ago. And this is really where it is and how it happens. And so, yes, my loves, to conclude, I just want to say thank you for being here with me from the bottom of my heart. And I pray that this lands. And if you're feeling a yes, that you take that leap of faith, that you drop in, and that we can start to co-create magic, because this is my desire, combining that science, sex, spirit, and self and source into the most beautiful method for you and through you into this world. And I'm excited to see who lands, to see what lands. I'm sending you so, so, so much love. Thank you for your time. Thank you for this. We will chat soon.